All right, let's pull back the curtain on the silent, invisible manager that's running pretty much every single piece of tech you own. It's the real unsung hero of our digital world. So let's dive in and figure out what an operating system actually is. You click, you type, you swipe all day long. But have you ever just stopped and wondered what's happening behind the screen? Who's the master conductor that's making this whole digital orchestra play in tune? Well, without that conductor, a computer is just a box of parts. Seriously, it's total chaos. You've got the processor, the memory, the hard drive, all these powerful components, but they can't speak the same language. They can't work together. But then a manager steps in, and suddenly there's order. And that manager, that hero that brings order from all that chaos, is the operating system, or, the OS. Its entire job is to be the middleman, that crucial interface between you and all the complicated hardware humming away inside your machine. Okay, so what does this digital manager actually do all day? Well, it turns out it's constantly juggling 5 incredibly important jobs. Let's break down its key superpowers, one by one. So here are its core responsibilities. First, it manages every single running program, what we call a process. It also has to handle all the computer's memory, organize every single file you create, control all the devices you plug in, like your mouse or keyboard, and finally, it wraps everything up in a nice protective layer of security. It is a true master multitasker. First up, process management. The best way to think about this is to picture the OS as a factory foreman. When you've got your web browser, a music app, and maybe a game all running at once, the OS is the one yelling at the processor, "Okay, give me a few milliseconds on the game. Now switch to the music. Now check the browser." It happens so unbelievably fast that it feels like everything's running at the same time. Next, we've got memory management. For this, imagine the OS is like a super meticulous hotel concierge for your computer's RAM. When you open a program, the OS checks it in, gives it a room, a dedicated slice of memory, and makes absolutely sure its data doesn't spill out and bother the neighbors. This is so crucial for stability. Without it, just one buggy app could crash your entire system. And of course, there's file management. Here, the OS is the ultimate librarian. Every photo, every document, every video you've ever saved is neatly cataloged and put in a very specific spot on your hard drive. So when you need it, the OS knows exactly where to look and can retrieve it in an instant. But this super sophisticated manager wasn't just built in a day. The operating system actually has this fascinating history that really shows how far we've come. So let's take a quick trip back in time to see how it all evolved. Believe it or not, in the very beginning, there was no OS. Engineers had to physically operate these massive machines with switches and cables for every single little task. Then came batch systems, which could at least run one job after another without a person standing there. But the real game changer came in the 60s with multi-programming, which allowed computers to juggle multiple jobs at once. And that idea eventually led us right to the graphical, networked, and mobile operating systems that are part of our everyday lives. So we've seen the jobs, we've gone through the history. Now let's see how all these pieces snap together in a simple task you do all the time. The request seems so simple to us, right? We just want to see a photo. But behind the scenes, our OS hero is getting ready to perform this incredibly complex, coordinated dance. Okay, this is the perfect example. First, you click. Now, the photo app itself can't directly talk to the hardware. So instead, it makes a special request. It's called a system call and asks the OS for help. The OS then instantly becomes the foreman, the librarian, and the concierge. It finds the file, assigns some memory for it, and then tells the CPU and the monitor to actually display the image. And all of this happens in a fraction of a second. It's the ultimate go-between. Now that you know its secret identity, you're going to start seeing this hero everywhere, I promise. It's not just in your laptop or your desktop computer. I mean, think about it. Operating systems are totally tailored for all kinds of different jobs. You've got the ones we know best, like Windows and macOS for desktops. Then you've got the mobile powerhouses like Android and iOS in our pockets. But they also run the gigantic servers that power the internet and even tiny embedded systems inside our cars, our smartwatches, our TVs. They are truly, truly everywhere. And that's really the key takeaway here. The operating system is what gives technology its power. It's the bridge between what we want to do and what the machine can do. It's that crucial, invisible force that makes everything just work. So this leaves us with a really fascinating question for the future. As our world just keeps filling up with more and more interconnected smart devices, the whole Internet of Things, the demands on the OS are going to change again. What will the next generation of operating systems need to manage? An entire smart home? A self-driving city? The possibilities are pretty much endless.